back, everybody, to episode 8. Man, this is going to be a fun one today. What was that?
Every episode is fun with you.
Well, you're right, but I wasn't talking about this was going to be fun because she was here. It's because we got Sonny here.
I know, Mr. Sonny Batten.
Yes, the one and only.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, what's going on?
You didn't introduce yourself.
Everybody knows who I am by now.
Maybe not. Maybe they're just joining in like some people hadn't even listened to us that came in.
Yeah. Well, if they joined in, they probably seen the title that said The Squatch and Ashley Show, and they probably got a pretty good idea of who we are.
I'm Squatch.
Yeah, for sure. And I used to be Ashley. Sonny, do you know what you got into?
Absolutely not.
Sonny,
this is gonna be
welcome to
great.
the Squatch and Ashley
Yeah, here
Show.
you are, buddy.
Yeah.
We just got you right in.
Welcome to the Squatch and Ashley Show,
Absolutely.
where we are totally professional.
Yeah. I'm wearing my socks. I'm kind of a big deal,
Yeah.
is what they say. Because, always got to have your sock game on point.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah. But hey, before we just dive right in, we're going to do a little bit of small business shout out. That's what I'm going to call it, Jared. That's good. Small business shout out. I like it. Thank you.
Well, I can do
My
a lot of
rock
shots.
likes it too.
SBSO. Small business shout out.
You and
Do you
your
like
names.
that?
Well, we just, yeah.
I like
Okay,
it.
let's hear it. Who are you shouting out?
Do you have anybody you want to start out with?
You're the one that brought it up. Let's go.
Well, Jared told me I can't do the Zip Studio every time.
Sounds like you just did.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
She's got an addiction.
Oops. Sorry about that.
There's 4 extra pictures I gotta grab.
So,
Oh, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about events. Tomorrow morning, they're having their grand opening. I know they've been opened, but tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., they're doing their grand opening. And tomorrow is, well, by the time people hear this, it's going to be
it's
over.
not tomorrow morning. It's, it's going to be open Monday.
So hopefully everybody goes out.
Let me rephrase that. Jared, no need to edit this, okay? Leave it in here. So by now you've went to the Sip Studio grand opening and enjoyed the first 50 free drinks on Citizen State Bank. You are all welcome. How's that?
Woo!
How was that?
Yeah. You see what I got to deal with now?
Thank you. Was that good? I love that.
I was trying to.
So,
love
so
that.
we're not going to bring up Sip
Crowd
Studio,
cheering
and
in
we've
there.
talked about them for how long? Okay.
So
There are other businesses in Hartford City besides Sip Studio and Citizen State Bank.
Smith Consulting,
Yeah, that's where we are today.
Journey North Tattoo Company.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about that, but what are you trying to bring up here?
They
Okay.
also got plugged on the last
We
They did. I
We
know.
did.
I know.
What about Pitt's Insurance right there?
That's
on
exactly
the
who
other
I was going to
side?
bring up because Kyle is opening another location.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Way to go, Kyle.
Really?
Yes. Do you not look at anything on Facebook?
Jay County, right? Or is it Jay County?
How many times do I have
I
to
think
tell
I heard
you?
you say something about it.
How many times do I have to tell you I really don't pay attention that much to Facebook?
He doesn't.
No, because he was asking me earlier. He goes, "Did you see that on my phone?" I said, "Dude, I didn't see nothing."
You really should. Yes, he's opening another location. That's awesome.
That is
Absolutely.
awesome.
Way to go, Pitts.
So
Yeah.
good job, Kyle.
Yep.
So-
Neighbor. I got a good story about Kyle. I'll never forget. It wasn't
Why?
shortly. It wasn't shortly after they moved in, and I look over and his kids are running across the field, like from his house, which is, as the crow flies, probably at least a half a mile, and I'm going.
like that
I'm
saying.
like, why are these kids running across the field? And I think I called him or took a picture. I said, "Dude, why are your kids running across the field?" And like run to my house, They got in trouble, so he told him, made him run around and picked him up on the other side.
Oh my God. Sounds about right.
I thought it was
job,
great.
Pitts.
Yeah, way to go.
Way to parent those children.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. I like that. I like that.
A little running never hurt nobody.
Yep. I think I have all my insurance through it. I think we got most of our insurance here, so he's taking care of us so far.
Support local, right?
I still hate insurance, but
Who doesn't?
right.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
does
who
not?
else we got?
just still laughing at Jared. I'm sorry. I just had lunch today with the client. We went to Common Grounds for lunch.
I love Common Grounds.
That was really, really
so
good.
Eclectic and awesome in there.
I know it. And then also I do, you love energy drinks. Deja Brew has some different kind of flavors. They mix with Alani drinks too. So
What's that?
Alani is an energy drink brand.
I don't know.
There are other energy drinks besides Monster.
So is it like
I have
coffee
no
that
idea.
they mix with it?
No, like fruit flavors or some cream.
So it's more than like coffee and stuff.
Yes, Shane.
So
You
they don't-
really need to get
They
out
don't really
more.
brew it.
You really. Oh my gosh.
You're not a coffee guy, right?
No, I hate
Thank
coffee.
you, Sonny. Really?
Can't stand it.
And
What?
I think I heard you say last time, or maybe a couple times, you don't like Mexican food either.
Not a big fan of it.
What?
Like, is it Mexican American, like Tex-Mex, or is it like actual authentic Mexican food that you don't like?
Probably either or. I don't know. I don't know. It's all the beans, rice.
Don't get that.
No, I mean, I think it's just tacos. Like, I don't even like Taco Bell.
Well, that's Tex-Mex.
Well, nobody
That's
like.
like-
I don't.
That's
But-
barely even Tex-Mex.
So my
We're
wife,
not talking about that. We're talking about like Rivera's.
yeah, my wife likes.
or like if you know somebody that makes, like my wife makes amazing authentic Mexican food. So, but that's why I'm asking, like, did you have a bad experience, or has it just never, is it a texture thing, or like what is it?
No, I don't do the texture. Don't bother. No, I don't hate it. Like, I still eat it all the time, and maybe that's what it is. Is maybe it's over in life. Like, I know I had a job for a while. It seemed like every day for lunch they wanted to go eat Mexican.
Oh yeah.
You know, my wife loves Mexican. Kid loves Mexicans. But it's Mexicans. I did that plural. That sounded
I love
bad.
Mexicans. My
I
wife
love
is a
Mexicans
Mexican,
too.
so I
we're talking
love
about the
them
food
dearly.
people.
and their food is really good
Yeah,
too.
what they go when we get it. I only know and maybe I just can't pronounce it. I don't know. But I have one thing that I get every single time, and it's like a hot shrimp deal. 'Cause I love seafood. My wife hates seafood. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of a steak. I'm just a steak and mashed potatoes kind of guy.
Right. I was just curious. I wanted to ask you what part of Mexican food rubbed you the wrong way, and you're like, I just don't like it. Like,
I don't,
because I could
don't
eat
know.
tacos every day. There's pork, and you can do it with pineapple, or you can just do regular pork, and you got carne asada, which is steak, and then you got chicken, and then you got pork that's done a different way, so carnitas, which is awesome. But I don't know, man. Maybe I honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Before I met my wife, I was a Tex-Mex kind of person,
Yeah.
like white boy tacos. The kind of tacos that you think that a real taco looks like,
Right.
like the one that you go Taco Bell, or, the ones that, mom makes at home with the Dorito shell now. Like when we were kids, they were just the yellow corn,
Right.
hard
Yeah.
shell tacos. But now they have the awesome flavors and stuff. But anyway, that was my idea of what a taco was, and I was wrong. Like a real taco is either a corn or a flour tortilla, some cilantro, some onions, whatever meat you're gonna have, a squirt of lime on there, and like if you want to put some sauce, like a little bit of that's a taco.
You are on the Mexican food then.
Dude, I'm telling you what, man, my wife it has taught me the ways of like Mexican food, and it is glorious.
So you basically just said that your wife's going to cook for us.
Yes.
Listen, I'll invite you guys over for dinner sometime. Like my wife
She's
loves to
beautiful
cook too.
and she
thank
can
you.
cook.
Yes, she was the keeper.
Yeah.
She
Faux
is.
show.
So have you
She's
ate
a
at the
baddie.
new
And
restaurant?
for so many other
Have you ate at
reasons.
the new restaurant?
She's a
yet?
baddie.
I have.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, Rivieras, love it. So like I said, is it Rivera's? Okay, I'm sorry. Rivera's.
It's okay.
I know how important it is to pronounce it. My wife, her maiden name is Villegas, and it's spelled Villegas, and most people will say Villegas. So the L's make east, so it's Villegas. And so I understand. So Rivera's is amazing. Their Al Pastor is my favorite. But all of their food is really good. And my wife makes some really good guacamole. Like my absolute favorite guacamole that I've ever had in my life. And Rivera's comes in at a close second. Their guacamole is really good. So
Sonny's wife needs to make us
I-
some guacamole and some sauce.
I just want to see if
dude,
she
you
can
guys
change
are just
my
gonna have to
mind.
come over sometime. Yeah,
Man, Sonny,
absolutely.
you
You
do
guys
you.
should come over sometime and have dinner. And I'll turn the Squatch into a Mexican food loving crazy man. Like,
Yeah.
You'll love her. She is a little baddie.
Yeah. Yeah. My and Laura will have to come because if I say Mexican, she's going to be there.
Yeah. It's good.
yeah, I'll have to ask her. Like, babe, I need you to help me change
the
a man's
Squatch.
mind.
Yeah, better yet.
Right is wrong. I like that.
Well, better yet, she could always come out to the house. Do you like to fish? Oh,
My brothers are fishermen.
yeah.
I never really, for whatever reason, I'm a tattoo artist, and I don't have patience for fishing.
Well, this is easy.
I love
You have Mexican.
Yeah, there you go.
I love fish, but I'm not good at catching them.
You don't have to be good
Yet.
at my house.
You
have to be good at my house.
Loaded pond.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's set up for kids.
My
so-
kids love. Listen, I've taken my kids fishing before, but I don't have any equipment, and they loved it. It was fun to watch them, but like usually when you're taking your kid fishing and you don't have equipment, you usually, first of all, you don't have a spot, so you're just standing out in the open. The sun's baking on you. You're like, you keep stabbing yourself with the hook because your kid don't want to touch it. Like, so it was kind of it was a good time, but it wasn't. Like when it was time to be done, I was like,
All right,
thank God.
so
let's go.
we're all gonna have a cookout at the house,
Oh man.
and your kids are actually gonna know that fishing can be fun, and
They had fun. No,
You're going to know that
they were-
Mexican food is good.
and
Yeah.
I'm gonna try some Mexican food.
My kids had fun. I was the one that wasn't having so much fun.
Well, honestly, well, I may get you tied into a lot. Paul had that small business bash.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I went and checked that thing out, and we're talking about doing different houses. Maybe this is part of the. Maybe this is part of the small business bash.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I like where this is going. All right, so we got to
Hang
get on.
on. I have one more thing.
What?
June 21st
Finish your text
is a
message.
flavor and savor.
I got the number one again.
Flavor and Savor Food Festival. June 21st.
Okay, tell me about it because I've
This
been
is with
horrible.
Franny Pauly.
I know, and she's gonna kill me because she has sent me multiple messages and like talked to me, and I'm gonna help out. Like I just haven't really got back with her.
Well, are you
probably
ready
like
to
I
hear her the summary? You ready for
should.
it?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so Flavor and Savor Food Festival. It's a kid-friendly grilling competition. It's going to have a kid zone, food trucks, food competitions, vendor booths, and it's going to be a super fun time. So only Franny is an official Flavor Emporium. She's the owner of Flavor Emporium. You know those spices are amazing. You can find them at Hartford City Meat and Deli.
She gave me some.
Amazing.
I haven't tried it. I'm going to though.
Oh, you got to.
She heard that I like hot stuff. I don't know if I said something on here, but yeah.
They're so good. So good.
And I think she even sells some at the deli or meat market, right? Nick's.
It finally happened and it's on recording. I literally just said that right before you said that. Shows how much you listen to me.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to you.
But yet you always get on me.
I do.
That was funny. I mean, I'm
You heard
not
me
laughing,
say it, right?
But she did just say that, and then he said it too. That was
Yes.
Yeah, I totally
Yes.
missed that. I was thinking,
Yes,
I
yes.
was trying to think on how we're gonna get this over so we can actually hear about Sonny today. But you got me. So we're
not
we're
edit that
100
out.
We're 100 to 1.
Jared,
Hands up.
Sonny is my witness.
hey, you got some catching up to do.
Sonny's my witness. But you were here to witness that.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. My bad. I didn't mean to point that out.
Yeah. Well, she normally, when she gets on a roll, she does like 5 times in the episode. So.
Literally. But it was just so good that I finally got him.
Yeah. Enjoy your small wins.
I will.
Yeah.
So, but that's coming up. It's already May, so that's next month.
Enjoy the little W's, man.
So, support it.
Yes.
So, us and Tasty Spoon and the Clear Choice Chiropractic, areas, all letting her have her people park in there and stuff. So there'll be plenty of parking and stuff. So.
Oh, you said that Clear Choice Chiropractic. I like that place. I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to when I was
Dr. Dakota.
Yeah, he's good.
He's so good.
Is he? I'm being honest. You know.
So
Do you go to the chiropractor?
I do, but I'm looking. I've been wanting to take my wife to the chiropractor.
You'll love Dr. Steed.
She needs to see.
Yeah.
She should go to Dakota.
Okay.
So
I don't want to plug it too hard, but honestly, like he has really helped me with the issues I have with my back.
That's good to hear, man. You know, I mean, when you're looking for somebody to help someone that's really in pain, that's the review I want. You know, I don't want you to be like,
No, he's.
I've went to him my whole life, of course, pouring concrete and stuff, right? Stuff's always out of whack. And the last one I went to, they hooked me up this thing. I had to hit the button because like it hurt, so like they had me all screwed up. And I said I'll never go back. And then I went back to him. I got messed up, and I haven't been there for a while because I've got other issues with my back. But anyhow, I went to him all the time. And you go in there, it's quick. It's fast. You're in, you're out, and it works.
And you can just walk in,
So.
and it's $35.
Yeah, if you just pay right out of pocket, $35.
yeah, I don't have insurance, so that would definitely be right out of pocket situation.
It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Quality of life is worth it always, 100%.
Yep. So those are my little plugs. So now let's officially welcome our third guest. Is this our third guest? Yep. Mr. Mayor Dan.
You're gonna run out of fingers.
Tyler?
here for long.
And now
Except
Mr.
for that
Sonny
one.
Batten.
Yeah.
So welcome,
Thank
Sonny.
you.
Please
you.
start off with telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am an Indiana native. I was born here, raised pretty much in Hartford City for the most part. We moved to Mississippi for a little bit when I was a kid, a couple years, maybe 4 years there, and then back to Indiana. And then when I was, 31-ish maybe, something like that. And I moved to the East Coast to continue my tattoo career. And that tattooing has taken me all over the place. Not internationally yet, but all over the country, which has been really great. North Carolina, I lived there for about 7 years. I was in Arizona for about 10 months or so, and then out in California for about 9 years. And I've frequented other states and tattooed there, and tattooing has been really good, man. So, and then about a year ago, I moved back here from California, which has been the greatest thing that I've done in my life. And funny enough, I had people in California, they were worried, they're like, you're going to be able to move back to Indiana and make the money that you make, you're going to be able to do that. And I'm like, absolutely, I'm going to be able to do that. Never once did I have a doubt in my mind that I wasn't going to be able to come back here and make money. In fact, when I originally left, I was like, if I ever do come back to Indiana, I'm going to have to build a reputation for myself bigger than who I am,
Right.
So that it precedes me and it follows me, and it has. And I haven't just traveled around. The point of traveling around was to find myself, and but also not just as a person, but as an artist, to try to be the best artist that I can be. And what it's done is turned me into a forever student. And so now I'm back here. I'm at Journey North Tattoo Company. I couldn't be happier. Chad is probably one of the greatest people that I've ever met in my life. He takes care of me and my family, and we're like family. So
Awesome.
it's been really good, man. A lot of really good things have happened since I moved back here, and they just keep happening.
Oh yeah. Well, and I remember. I mean,
God is good.
yeah. I remember. You know, you'd always know when Sonny was coming back, right? like come back to visit, and it was everybody in town was like, "He's coming back. We gotta get some more ink," you know. And so it was. I think you started building that reputation even when you didn't live here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as long as I've known you, and I don't know you really well, but if Sonny come up, it was about tattoos.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I mean,
true.
that's what it was about. So, and by traveling and doing everything you did, I mean, I think that's awesome. You know, because that's you get out, you get to see something different, and you still come back here, which is awesome.
Contrast and perspective
Yep.
is the biggest thing.
Yep. I always see people want to leave because they always think grass is always greener, and there's so many people that end up back here. They're like, this town's actually pretty nice once we get out and see the rest of the world.
Man, you really don't. People have been asking me and still ask me today, like, come on, man. You really this happy to be back? Like, this is Hartford City you're talking about. And I'm like, I really am. I really love Hartford City. When I left, no way. Absolutely not. I hated everything about Hartford City, how small it was, how everybody knew who everybody was, how connected everybody was, how you couldn't do anything without everybody knowing. It was just the cops. I hated cops. I always, but I was doing dirtbag stuff, you know, so I had a reason to be looking over my shoulder. So, you know, like if you're being a little dirtbag, you're going to have a reason to worry about the cops, which I wasn't breaking the law, but I mean, if you're not obeying the law, you're breaking it, right? And so I had a very jaded perspective of what cops were, you know, and I had to change that because I was starting to give my kids a jaded perspective. And even though I'd moved away from here, I'd still carried that with me for a while. And my wife is my savior, you know.
Yeah.
She was the one that was like, hey, you know, you've got to stop. I get it. You've had bad things happen to you with cops and things like that. And I'm not trying to take away what's happened to you, but you've got to stop telling our kids that cops are bad, because what happens if something happens and they need a cop and they're not going to go to it? And I was like, you know what? Like, I really don't have a reason to be this way.
Right.
And so, and now I absolutely love cops. Like, I offer first responder and, veteran and active duty, like I offer a discount to them at the tattoo shop because I appreciate everything that they do. You know, they're, especially nowadays, they're sort of the unsung heroes that if we didn't have them, you know, making the hard decisions that as clearly, you know, adults that can't make decisions, that's why they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do, and their hands are tied on so much stuff
man,
too.
yeah.
And you know, if the kids are being brought up to not like them, or, you know, almost be scared of them, like, oh, there's a cop, you know, like, like you're repeating this circle that's not helping anybody.
No.
And it does.
What
And-
message are you giving your kids?
Right.
We have to shepherd them in the right direction. And we can't let our past, even though that's the thing. You have to let go of the past. You can't hold on to that old hurt and that old, like, so I got messed with when I was a teenager, you know, like, so
Probably
what?
deserved
like,
it.
It was a long time ago, you know?
Yeah.
And I've seen so much good that, you know, police officers, especially, you know, they're the thankless. Like, everybody hates to love a cop right now. Like, if they need you, then they're like, let me call you. But,
Right.
you know, so I appreciate you guys, man. You know, thank you for doing the
Sonny,
hard work.
And when you came back here, what did you immediately get nominated for?
Oh, so the chamber nominated me for, it was outstanding. What was it? Outstanding.
Citizen.
Outstanding citizen, like cheerleader. I'd only been here for like 4 months, and I got nominated.
And I called him.
I was speechless. I was like,
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
Thank
but you did a lot. Like when you come back here, you didn't mess around.
Well, and I'm not done. Actually,
Right.
I got so many more things that are about to start happening.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, what is? I mean,
Talk about like the extracurricular things you do outside the tattoo shop.
So before I came back, about a month, probably maybe a month and a half, I started talking to my best friend Justin Morris, and
Who is
Proof's Barber Society's #1 barber, and he cuts my hair, and I'm really picky, so he does a great job. I love him. He's an awesome dude. Proofs is great.
I ain't heard no complaints from there. I mean, Bridger goes there, Wyatt goes there.
Cash goes there.
Yeah, I still cut my own. Probably
Oh,
shows.
God.
But
Yeah, so Justin and I have been friends like since trailer park days, way back in the day. We have been Southside buddies since for the longest, and we always had a mutual, like we all did bicycles, right? We all had a mutual love for bicycles. Justin and I were always working on bicycles though, and so I'm like, we started talking about bicycles and stuff, and I was like, well, I can ride Corbin's when I get back, because I gave Corbin my bicycle 1 year for his birthday.
Yeah.
Because he was just at that size, and I wasn't riding it, and it was a really nice Diamondback Joker, like a BMX style bike, and he loves it.
Right.
He actually has another one now that he won this summer over one of the things that we were doing. But so we start talking about, riding, doing something when I got back. And I got back, and we continued to talk about riding. And so Justin picks up this bike, and we start riding around town. And people are just giving us these dirty looks and just side eyeing us. And we're like, I'm looking at my wife, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, Justin, why is everyone looking at us like this?
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't never seen anybody riding a bike. And he was like, drug the consensus was it was like drug addicts that were out riding around on bikes, stealing bikes, and and you didn't see kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't see any kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like, we gotta do something about this. Let's start riding. Let's pick a day and go riding and see if we can get people to meet up at the courthouse, and we'll go right around town, right? And so we talked about that for maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we think it was the end of June, I believe. When the first ride, I think it was the end of June. I can't remember. It happened really fast, and we put it up online, and I was like, hey, come riding up on my bike, and I squeal, hit the brakes, and I was like, hey, what's going on? You guys need to come out with us this Sunday and ride with Justin and I. We're going to be meeting up here at the courthouse on Main and Jefferson, and we'll wait to see how many people show up. And it was 2 days. It got blown up. It was all over the place. There was well over 1,000. I can't remember. There was 4,000 shares on this in 2 days, and a whole bunch of shares, and just all the views and the likes and the comments, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is gonna be huge, right?
Yeah. So what's that tell you though? I mean, really, it tells you everybody's hungry for this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it only takes somebody to say, "Hey, let's go do this."
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you did it.
Yeah.
And they just ran with
And
it.
Yeah.
Sonny and Justin actually helped along with Paul Krause give away 10 bicycles at one of my 4th Fridays to kids.
Awesome.
10.
Yeah, so that was actually all Paul. He asked Justin and I to come in and host it and
Be the MCs.
Yeah, and sign up kids. So Paul Krause and his band of
Unsung
sponsors
heroes.
and merry men
Right.
provided 10 bicycles for kids. And Justin and I had already talked about giving bikes away. And so once we started talking about giving bikes away, everybody started giving bikes away. And I can't even, we get the Hartford City Police Department gave away 2 bikes. The Blackford County Sheriff's Department gave away 2 bikes. Casey Massey's like assisted living place in Muncie. I'm sorry, Casey, I don't remember the name, but they gave away 2 bikes along with Casey. Let's see here. Chris Long gave away a bike for us to raffle off for.
That's awesome.
Casey
Brody.
Massey's Silver Birch.
Silver Birch, yeah. So Silver Birch and Casey Massey went in on 2 bikes for us. We ended up giving away those 2 bikes in Montpelier at the first Ride With Us event there. And everybody keeps asking if we're going to be able to do the Ride With Us in Montpelier. To that, guys, I don't know. I think it would be great if we could do that, but I'm so involved with so much going on in the community. I think, like, not to, put it out there, like, wrongly, but well, let's not even use that analogy. If you wanted to start up a Ride With Us faction, in a different area, we would come, and try and ride with you on the first ride. But I can't guarantee that we'll be able to come because we do it twice a month, and it is for Hartford City and Blackford County area. And so the idea really is, honestly, I've had people reach out from out of state and say, I want to come ride with you guys. So really, at the end of the day, like it's the main sole purpose for it is to get kids out.
Yeah.
The second thing is to get them off social media and TV and everything and reconnect with the outside and people that they wouldn't talk to normally because they wouldn't talk to these people because they wouldn't put themselves in a setting like that. And so you put them out there and then they make new friends. Like it was crazy how many people were like, man, I talked to this person. I would never talk to this person if I hadn't have been here. And so the first ride we weren't sure how many we were going to have. We knew it was blown up and we were thinking that we were going to have a lot of people. But I think we had like 24 people show up for the first ride.
And it was like
the
most you've ever had.
2 days was the notice, right?
Yeah.
The best turnout that we had was like 72 or 74 people, and it was awesome.
That is crazy.
That turnout was actually when the Blackford County Sheriff's Department and the Hartford City Police Department gave away their 2 bikes, which we had 4 lucky winners that day, and it was great, man. Oh, it was so fun. And so what we have, like the riders, like I call us the shepherds, and that's because we keep the kids safe.
Yep.
And even more so than just being shepherds there on the streets while we're riding. Like I've tried to become a shepherd in the community with kids and curb my language because I used to be extremely foul-mouthed. And I mean, it's still like I fight with it, when we were talking before, like I drop a lot of cuss words, but it's because I'm a tattoo artist and it doesn't mean that it's right or that I should, but it's not shunned on, or it's not. I don't have to be any kind of certain. I have to be Sonny Batten. I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to try and pretend for a little while because I work in a corporate setting or because I need to be careful. I get to be unencumbered and who I am all the time. So for me to want to change, and I do, I've changed the way that I speak on my social media. So like every once in a while I'll drop a damn or a shit or whatever, but I try not to.
You just got us our, what do you call it, rating?
You put us in the damn shit.
It's
Hey, Dad.
Aren't those 2 like acceptable?
I think it is.
Not explicit.
But
Explicit content.
yeah, you just can't say stuff like pussy or something like that. It gets you right rated, like right there.
That's the one.
Sorry,
Shane.
I had to do it.
Shane.
Actually,
Do you have to use that word?
no, I don't, but I did.
There's plenty others.
I did. Yeah,
absolutely.
There's others. So I love this. So if somebody wants to get involved, like let's say if somebody's here listening right now, and they're like, man, my kids will love this. Like, what's your, like, Facebook? What's your...
So usually this year we're going to make, it just happened. We didn't realize how big it was going to be. Tim, the non-sports guy, Tim Norris Jr., actually was a big help with us last year and just kind of helping us get it out there. And he made Ride With Us, Hartford City, and Ride With Us, Montpelier. And it's, I believe it's just... it's like the bulletin or like what is it? Not a bulletin, but
like
an event.
Oh, event.
Sorry, it's an event. So there isn't a page yet. So you can go onto my page. It's Sonny_Batten. And it's me bunny hopping over 2 bicycles. So the picture, you'll be able to know that it's me on an orange bike. And this year though, I'm gonna start a Facebook, Instagram for Ride With Us. I just haven't yet because I'm doing all kinds of other things. I'm coaching T-ball. I actually have 2 students. I have a piercing apprentice and a tattoo apprentice. My son is a triathlete, so he's on his 3rd sport. He's playing baseball now, and he lettered in both football and wrestling.
Wow.
And he's been he's not like a starting all the time, but he's started varsity baseball this season as catcher and in left field. He's done really well. I'm super proud of him. And then, I'm coaching my daughter's T-ball team, and then my son, who's on the machine pitch, he's playing too. So my gosh, and tattooing,
we're just getting started in what you do, and what
know,
you want to do,
man.
and if you I always hear this. A lot of people are always like, "Well, what can I do to help? What can I do to help?" And the biggest thing about, and I'll say it, like doers, like us, that if we have a moment of slack, me, you, Ashley, whatever, it's like, oh, we're gonna go do this now. But sometimes we get involved in the building and the doing, and that's what you get asked, like, why you Facebook and this and that. It's like, if you want to help, like, we'll take people to do. We'll take people to like help us on social media, and really everybody can help. You see it, you share it, you talk about it, and that'll build it, and then we'll run with it.
Yeah, and we're all a piece in this cog, because if we don't help each other out, then it makes it a whole lot harder, So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about, before I came back, that was one of the things that, Justin was telling me, that Hartford City was starting to do some good things and starting to, curb the drug addict situation that was happening, and the city was starting to move in a better direction. And I was like, I want to be a part of that,
Yeah. And I've brought this up before. Do you think that's generational? I really think it's like we hit a certain age group of us that have all just went 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, I don't think that it was that all of our parents stopped caring, but a lot of our parents stopped caring. Like, there was a lot of people that just look. I mean, let's say for instance, look at Gas City. How beautiful is Gas City now? And it used to look like a little trash town.
Yep.
And listen, that's where I stole my 4th Fridays from.
Nice.
They have First Friday.
You
Walk
thief.
through there.
It's a good thing to do for the community.
Walk through there. Nathan and I did one Friday, and we're like, I thought, why can't Blackford have one of these? Like, what is stopping us?
Yeah.
And what is stopping us? Somebody from doing it. We always want to talk, so why not do it?
So funny enough, 4th Friday was sort of the inspiration for the Ride With Us. So we were going to do every 4th Sunday, and we were going to do the Ride With Us. But once we did the first ride, absolutely, it was not happening, dude. There was absolutely zero stopping it. There were people that missed the ride who were upset about the ride. And like I said, I had people reaching out to me from out of state. Like, I want to come ride with you guys. Like, literally what happened was, listen, I wish I could say that it was me, but dude, if God wasn't involved in the situation, it would have never happened.
Yes.
Because like I said, 2 days, and then there was 24 riders, you know what I mean? And we had other people that wanted to be involved and come out and do things, and it was just like, wow, this is crazy. So I talked to Justin. I was like, we're going to have to do this more than once a month. And he's like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, well, let's talk about it, you know? And so eventually, we agreed on, every 2 weeks doing the ride, that way it didn't put too much strain on us because we both got a lot going on, and I just moved to town. So, and my wife and I are fixing up my grandma's old house and living and working, and the kids are going to school. So like finding time to do extra stuff, so it was clear, after that first ride that we were going to have to do more rides. And so we decided to do 2 a month, and it's one every other week. And that's even still like kids are like, when are we riding? Like people have been asking me since January. I'm like, listen, I ride my bike every day to work because I don't live far. And plus it just gives me a reason to ride my bike, to be a 43-year-old kid, Well, I mean, if tattooing wasn't enough to be a kid, like, all I think about while I'm tattooing is riding my bike. It's ridiculous. I'm 43 years old.
But you're passionate, and everybody's passionate is like that. Like you're focused. And the one thing you brought up is like, it was, God had a part of this. And I've always said, and I'm sure you're asked and Ashley's asked, it's, man, how do you have time to do all this stuff? Like, don't you do enough? Like, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing it alone.
Absolutely.
And you're not. And he will, he 100%. I've always said it's different. It's different when you just go into church and listen. It's different when you finally accept that, like, all right, let's roll with this, and I've always said that. And it's instead of thinking of that as everything you can't do in life, take that and think about what you can do in life with that. And you will do 20 times more.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, that's cool to hear you say that. And I do have one question though. Do you got a bike, Ashley?
Oh no. What are you wanting to do? We can't do the golf course, so.
Well, so far we're behind, and we're going to have like to set aside a day because we never did frisbee golf.
And we
still have the ice bucket challenge.
We can't do golf, so mark that off our plate.
Yeah, that's the easy way out for you from getting beat by Squatch, isn't it?
You would not win at regular golf against me.
I'll tell you what, putt.
Ask Nathan. I am a putt
pro. Okay,
you're on.
You're right here.
You're on.
All right.
There's a lot of confidence in that mic right
and
now.
I will bet anything.
Anything.
Yeah. Ooh. What?
I bet. Let's see. What are we gonna do this?
I take it back.
I'll tell you what. We'll do it right here. Hey, putt. The loser has to buy and donate a bike to Sonny Batten.
Okay.
Oh, that's a really good thing.
Let's do, like the Iron Man challenge. Let's do we'll putt, we'll disc golf.
Do them all in one day.
Ooh,
yes,
that's
I
awesome.
love it. You've really got to do this. We talk about this and then we get busy.
I will buy a bike.
We talk about this and then a lot of times we don't do it.
Guess what? I'll up you. I will buy a bike and Citizen State Bank will donate a bike.
Ooh, I like that. Sweet deal.
We're gonna get some bikes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna wait just a second.
And you should get some Squatch and Ashley Show decals, and it should be a Squatch and Ashley Show bike. Yeah.
I got to get some Ride With Us stickers made.
Because
we give away so many bikes, guys. I just gave away 3 bikes not too long ago.
Well,
Justin and I.
When are we doing this?
Let's make commitment to set
Disc
a
golf
date.
and putt-putt.
Let's make commitment to set a date by our next podcast.
Okay.
And announce it at our next podcast.
Okay, when we're going to have the disc golf and putt-putt challenge.
Yeah.
So we're actually working on making a Ride With Us nonprofit, so that we can continue to give bikes away.
You can get your 501c3.
Yeah, that's what we're getting ready to do. That we have some people that would like to donate to us, and we just want to make sure that we get all of our ducks in the row. Like anybody that's listened to this podcast that wanted a shirt last year and pre-ordered one, but it was just a pre-order. There was no money taken. But I know there was a lot of people that were excited about getting the shirts. We ended up getting enough to do it, but we were worried that we were going to get into some kind of tax trouble selling the shirts. So we decided not to do that. So a lot of stuff has happened. We're still working on the nonprofit, and we have some people that we want to bring on as board members and stuff. So
I got an idea
more
for your
than
shirts.
just a thought. What's that?
So on our site, our Froggy Bottom site, we got connected with Printiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm going to say 100% definitely go to your local places to get your shirts. But in instances like that, like if somebody just wants one shirt, they can't do that. Like they've got to build the design, and get so many. I mean, that's just the way it is. This program, you can go on there and design a shirt and order one.
It's like drop ship.
And order it, and it'll ship right to you. And order it, and it'll come right to you. So in between then, if it's something and something in between getting from point A to point B, where you're ordering all these shirts from one of our who all makes shirts in Hartford now?
ADM.
ADM. Is that all that's left that we know of?
Montpelier, they have a print shop just right down the road, don't they? Isn't that passing by that barn and house?
I think there is a sign out there,
Yeah.
yeah. But ADM, I think, is kind of the go-to place around here where everybody gets their stuff done. So, but anyhow, there's your option. So,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, this bike thing, but
Yep.
and it's ran into so much more. And what are some other things that you have? I know there's other things going through your head because there always is.
Oh yeah.
So what's some other
90
things that's
miles
going
an
on
hour.
that you're involved in? I mean, guys, stay updated on this. He'll share it to the Squatch page, I'm sure. Like, we'll keep this rolling, and we may even live video me beating
People
Ashley
are
at
dying
everything
that
we do here.
Our
I do
biathlon.
I do want to bring up like where you work, like Chad. You started to, and we kind of got off. Chad's the one years ago that did all my work on me. And I don't have a lot. I need a lot more. Like tell me about your relationship with Chad.
So my relationship with Chad has grown. We went to school together. We were best friends. I'm going to share this, and this is going to be great. We used to hang out upstairs, and him and Aaron Miller, he lived across the street from Aaron Miller, his cousin, and we would we had a little VHS. We'd make stupid videos, like singing to Backstreet Boys and
Oh my
NSYNC
gosh.
and 98 Degrees. Yeah.
Is there any of them that still exist?
I honestly don't know, but I would love to laugh at us being.
There's a reward if
Little-
somebody can find these.
But yeah, so we were tight. We were really, really good friends. We did all kinds of stuff together, and then as we got into high school and stuff, we all kind of had our own friends. We still hung out a bit, but we kind of drifted apart a bit. And Chad had a kid, and he early, so he started being a father, and I was still just being a teenager and running around doing my thing. And shortly after I got out of school, I learned how to tattoo, right? And so this is taking it way back, but for the purpose that I'd been tattooing for, I've been tattooing for a while, 8 or 9 years maybe. And then Chad decides that he's going to start tattooing.
Yeah.
And I went through an apprenticeship, and so I felt some kind of way about Chad doing
how old
it
was
on
you
his
then?
own. Oh man, I don't know how old I was.
20s?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Chad's been tattooing for 13 years now, and
Yeah.
I've been tattooing for 23. So,
So your attitude's a whole lot different when you're
way different, man. I thought that I was just the cat's meow, and there was nobody better, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I also had this jaded perspective that you had to go through an apprenticeship to get my respect, number one, and to be a real tattoo artist. And that's not true. People like Chad who don't have an apprenticeship, they don't have a teacher like I did, have to learn everything on their own. And for somebody to stay passionate and continue to make mistakes, but stay with it, for 13 years without really anybody. He had this one guy named Mike who helped him out. He lives in Pennsylvania, I think. And Chad went and seen him like twice. But I've since I came back, I was like, buddy, I got to tell you, man, I was wrong, man. I'm sorry that I was a jerk and that I thought that I was some kind of better than you for going through an apprenticeship when, you know, you still work just as hard for this as I have. And dude, we have such a great relationship. He's my brother, man. Like we tell each other just about everything,
Right.
you know?
And then he's the owner of Journey.
He is. Yeah. So Chad has done an amazing job. He started with self-made because somebody busted him out about tattooing out of his house, and he was like, you know what? This is my opportunity to show everybody that I'm a real tattoo artist. So he opened self-made, and he does that for about 10 years, I think. And then he decided to do Journey North and moved over onto the square. I mean, he was still on the square, but now he's on the corner, right by the Magic Corner.
Okay.
So we're 203 West Washington Street. Three big picture windows. Like we call it the aquarium because people stare at us when we sit in there.
That's awesome.
And I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But we have a great relationship, and I've apologized to him. I was like, dude, I was wrong, for saying that, like, you didn't want it as much as I like. Dude, like, hats off to you, brother. I got nothing but mad respect for Chad, and I love the dude.
Yeah, and here's what I just thought about when you're talking. Like, yeah, you had an apprenticeship. He's going on learning.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this ain't drawn on a piece of paper, messing up and throwing it away. Like, you've got to have people that, one, are willing to let you do it. Two, that it's there, so you're conscious about it. And I mean, there's a lot more that goes to that. You're not just going to erase it.
You really got to commit, man.
Yeah.
Because for a tattoo artist, like, you have to be willing to sit there and do it all the way through. Mm-hmm. Whether you make a mistake and they can see it or not, and you're just beating yourself up about it the whole time. Especially beginning, especially knowing nothing, like, it is one of, let me tell you, I'm sure, you're a businessman, you've done it yourself. You figured things out on your own at times, and you're like, bitten off more than I can chew, but I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to figure this out. You felt that cold sweat run down the crack of your back, and you're like, this is real.
Yeah.
Like, and when it's somebody's skin and it's permanent.
Oh yeah. And
let me tell you something, dude.
Yeah.
If you really care like Chad and I care, you'll lose sleep.
Right. And what I love, like, he is exactly what I've talked about. You both are, really. But, since we're talking about Chad, exactly what I talked about this podcast. There always comes a point where you're like, holy crap, should I really be doing this? It's like everything's against me.
Yeah.
There are a certain amount of people that will quit and go somewhere else, and there's a certain amount of people that motivates them harder, motivates them. He got in trouble, whatever, help, for doing it. Did he say, well, then let's do it? No, he said, okay, game on, let's do it, and then look at him now. Like, he had that passion, he had that drive, he had that no quit, I'm not going to be a pussy, and, he ran with it, and
10
it worked.
years, man. The only tattoo shop in Hartford City for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a 10-year. Like, that's a statement, man.
Yep.
I left Hartford City because I didn't believe it was possible.
Yeah.
And not just that, I wanted to learn. I wanted, like, in the beginning, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be better than every tattoo artist. I didn't care how awesome you were. I wanted to be better than you. Like, my goal wasn't necessarily to make friends. My goal was to crush everyone. And I realized that was the wrong approach, right? Because eventually you're going to reach a plateau, or you're going to find that giant.
Yep.
Or in manga terms, you're going to find that Super Saiyan, bro, that just goes above and beyond. Like, they hit their ceiling, but they break through it.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of what when I left Indiana, I realized that I just wasn't as awesome as I thought I was. And I met some guys who were way, way better than me.
Yeah.
And super humble. And I'm like, you should feel ashamed of yourself. Like, you're just not that good.
Yeah.
And like, it's that whole, like, let me humble myself down. Let me realized that I could be a whole lot better if I change my attitude, if I change my perspective. And like I said before, it's all about perspective and contrast.
Yeah.
Because without those hard contrasts, I would never know. And you said it on one of the podcasts before, it's never a fail. Like we always fall down, right?
Yep.
And failure teaches us the greatest thing, that we can get back up, that we can do it again.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the end of that story. Like, yeah, I may not have made it this time, but I'm going to make it next time. And if I don't, then I'm going to keep getting up. You're not going to,
And you're
not going to
every
stop me. You
single
do.
time.
And if you look at that as a win versus a loss, like, oh, but you didn't achieve your goal. How do you look at that as a win? Well, because you have to change your perspective.
Yep.
Because if you look at that, what you call an L, and you see, man, this is what I did wrong, but these are the things that I did right. And if I do these other things right, then maybe my equation will work out this next time. And it's just about looking at the problem a different way, because life is about choices. And if we choose to give up and not stand back up and walk to the other side of that fear, how do you ever know what it feels like to truly win?
Exactly. And so I'm going to ask you, because I think you're at this point too. Once you do that so many times, at some point in time, you have no fear of anything you're going into, because you don't care if you mess up, because that's just part of the game. So you're going to just go into it full confidence. It's going to happen, and you almost know it's going to happen because you've thought about it and you've been down something like that, and you just roll with it. And everybody starts getting nervous and negative and worried, and you're like, just say, here, we'll go. We've talked about that on the other podcast, and then I think at about that same point in life, we've talked about what success means, and you've hit it here, is I think when you hit a certain point, it's not the being the most competitive, I'm going to take over the world, changes to I'm going to change the world.
I'm only in competition with myself at this point, and I used to be a glasses half full kind of guy. Now I have a glass. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter if it's half empty. It doesn't matter if it's half full. I always have a glass to put something in, like I'm going to fill it up.
Right.
It's never going to be half empty. It's never going to be half full. I'm always going to have opportunity right there in that glass. Right. So whether there's anything in it or not,
and now you're taking all that and you feel more successful by sharing it, by helping the kids out, by helping the city out, because now you're getting a lot of that fulfillment in life, because you're able to share your story, you're able to share what you do, and you're able to help somebody get through it. Yeah. And help them through it a little bit better. And
absolutely.
That was the best part of my life, because I was like, when I started, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to have crews all over. Like, nobody's going to touch me, and you get to a point and you're like, holy crap. You know what? I know. And then you kind of shrink it. Like, you kind of suck yourself back in. Like, I don't have to be the best.
You don't.
I just want to go, and then I want to help other people out. Like, I want to, what used to be competition, like you saw, like maybe with Chad, is it'd make me mad. And I'd be like, oh, they're no good. Now, if I see somebody starting, like when I was doing concrete, if you see somebody starting now, it's like, hey, buddy, anytime you need some help, like, man, I'll come over there. Never would do that before. I don't, if you're going to do something, do it. You
don't have to be the number one contender, right? As long as you're the best in your field. And, one of the things that I like to live my life by is I don't want to be the best or the smartest person in the room, because I want to learn from the smartest person in the room.
I want to beat Shane, though.
No, there is one instance where I will be the best. So, but, and there's something I just heard the other day too, is people, you hear a lot as you grow in life, like your friends change.
Oh yeah.
The people you hang with change. And you said, and a lot of people are offended by this, and don't be. Really think this out. When you become the smartest person in the room, it's time to go to a different room.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
know?
and that's
That's how you grow.
Knowing that you need to elevate, knowing that you need to I tell all my students, your floor, my ceiling is your floor, okay?
Yep.
So listen, I'm always elevating my ceiling. I'm always blowing through. I'm always raising my standard. So be ready to raise your floor.
Yep.
Because I'm always coming again. I'm always coming up. I like to use the Super Saiyan because the Saiyans, like, let's see, Goku, for instance, right? Like, there is no stopping this dude. Like, he makes it to Super Saiyan 3 and then he goes Super Saiyan Rosacea. Like, it's crazy, bro. You know, like, so I never want to stop being the best version of me that I can be,
Yep.
you know? And I got so many other things that I want to do, you know, and like tattooing has enabled me. And I heard you guys say this on one of your other podcasts. If you do something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Right. Yeah, that's
You
something
did,
Ashley said.
Ashley. You did
I'm just
say
happy that there's somebody that actually listened to our podcast.
Thank you, Sonny.
that. You're welcome.
But listen, my grandfather would always tell me, he said, the biggest compliment you will ever get and receive as a leader is your people outgrowing you.
Mm-hmm. I want everybody around me to be better than me. It's not about, like, it's not cloak and dagger with me. Like,
Nope.
I want to teach, if there's something that I can teach you, I want you to learn it. I want you to be better than me because that's, like you said, that speaks volumes of you as a teacher.
Yeah.
You know?
I want everybody
So-
to be better than me, do
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So your employees outgrown you, they're going to come to Froggy Bottom.
Nobody said nothing to me. Nothing. They probably haven't even listened to the episode.
I know. That they hear
Wow.
you talk enough during the day. They don't want to hear you on the podcast. So,
I wish this was sometimes really live. They could see our faces
oh, we're going to start going live, I think.
and they could see me say,
I'm gonna start coming in here. I want to do like a G-string one day. You know?
"Oh my god!"
Yeah, I mean, if we go live,
Stop.
I got really surprised people.
the banana hammock.
Oh my god!
Oh.
No.
So we know where you are. You've come to this point. Your success is now by doing the things you're doing. We talked about the bikes. You know, we know where you are with Chad. What's the future? Because it's never just one thing. I know how this works. There is more things that you're working on, right?
Yeah.
So what's some of these other things?
So I was approached about a bicycle pedestrian master plan. I wish I could give you more information on it, but I believe it's a grant that the city is trying to get because of the Ride With Us thing that we started. So that's something. And when I get more information on that, I'll make sure I get it to you guys. Because that's one thing too, guys. You know, anybody that's listened to this, these guys are all about the truth and they're all about information, putting it out there and promoting local businesses in Hartford City and things like that. So if you know something and maybe necessarily you don't want to be on here, but you can drop them a line and let them know, like, hey, like this is going on in the community. Would you mind giving us a plug and saying something about it? And I was talking to Shane about this before the show, and he said, absolutely, that's what we want to do. So I would like to try and use my power of persuasion to help that, and I'll do this on my social media as well.
Right.
But that's what this show is all about. At least that's what, through the past 7 episodes that I've heard, it's been about getting the information out there to everybody and, you know, just kind of highlighting some of the things that are happening in Hartford City, because Hartford City is great. Which, one more thing, like, let me ask, does anybody in the room, Shane does now, but does anybody in the room know why we got our courthouse redone?
I think this is awesome because I didn't know the whole story.
Without me being the one that told you.
Well, no.
Huh?
I said no because you told us.
Yeah, so you told everybody. So how are we going to answer
so
this?
I've told everyone in this room, but we actually, guys, it's something to be extremely proud of about Hartford City and Blackford County is we won a grant to get our courthouse remodeled completely because we matched all the criteria that were needed for the contest. that went statewide. So out of all of the courthouses in Indiana,
There's
93 courthouses we beat out, guys. We beat out the one, I think it's Southern Indiana, right? With the tree growing out of it.
Yeah.
So we met all the criteria. That if you've never seen that in person,
I know,
it's
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
But their clock tower doesn't work. So, ours does.
Ours does.
Yes.
And but no, you're right. I mean,
So-
from like a construction standpoint, we have a awesome courthouse.
It is
We
literally a
do.
castle.
Yes.
It's the most amazing thing. Like the only one that I've ever seen that I'm like, oh, that's really cool is Bluffton's. Bluffton's
Oh,
is
it's
really
so
cool
beautiful.
too.
Yeah.
But we beat Bluffton.
But so is Portland.
And
Portland's is really pretty
We
too.
beat you too, Portland.
Yeah, we beat
so
we
like
beat
our
everybody.
clock tower works, our bell tower works, all of the architecture, the stone the masonry, like the roof, like the steeples, like everything helped us win this competition, guys. So yay, be proud of Hartford
Right.
City, Blackford County, guys, because it's,
And it's
better
not
than you
just-
think.
It's not just your tax dollars going
No,
to waste.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
it's
Which
not
I'm not
your
even getting
tax dollars.
started on that.
But
Yeah.
that's, a lot of people, okay, so let's clear the table real quick. A lot of people
Oh,
did
God,
think
we're
that's
gonna
what
clear this table
Well, I'm
again?
just saying that's what a lot of people in Hartford City thought. They're like, "Oh, my tax dollars going
Yep.
to this remodel again." Guys, we won a grant. None of our tax money went to that. It was because we are awesome.
Yeah,
You,
absolutely.
you like it?
That was
I
right on
can't
point.
complain about our tax dollars.
Yeah.
No, I mean you can. I'm just saying, like, for this situation,
No, and honestly, and going back, remember when that was talked about social media, you never heard that story.
Never.
So there's two things I'm going to hit on that. Number one, I didn't even know.
Why
it,
don't
but-
we know?
Well, we'll go back to listen to the episode with Mayor Dan. Is the city's communications sucks balls. I mean, they do not do, and this is a prime example. Why didn't that blow up? Why wasn't there hey, we're in a competition. Look, the Hartford City just kicked everybody's butt.
There
Is that
should
better?
have been a parade
Yeah.
celebrating the fact that we were so awesome. I mean, I'm serious, man. Like, why? I say this all the time. I was on the Schick Show last year.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about celebrating the win. Why don't we celebrate the win more? Like,
Shane's
yeah,
already dragged
it's-
poor Mayor Dan through the mud on
It's
his
not the
communication
war.
skills. So
We have not.
I mean,
we've
let's
obviously-
just be real. You did.
We've not won the war, but the battle still rages on, right?
Right.
And so why not celebrate the little wins in the battles, guys?
Yes.
Because it's important. I mean, and like you said earlier, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you make it, you know? And it took me 16 years to realize that. And like, that was part of the reason I wanted to come back, was because I wanted to help make the grass greener here. And I missed my family.
Yeah.
And I was ready to be back around them and have a slowdown. And a lot of people think that, I'm not tattooing every day here in Hartford City, that, like it's a problem. No, it's not a problem. I make money, like I'm not extremely wealthy, but I get by. I buy kids bikes, I take care of my family. Like my son participates in 3 different sports. My littles participate in sports, which by the way, the Blackford County Youth Baseball opening day ceremony is this Saturday.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's when you was
Which
talking.
no one will hear till Monday.
I know.
Yeah, I know, but
we've
this is a
we've
prime
talked about it on
example.
social media,
This
so
is a
it's out there.
Prime example, because I think that they're doing a bunch of stuff. I know Bowling, John Bowling, and Dan. He's like,
Dan Johnson.
yeah, we know
Lieutenant Dan,
I was gonna
we
say
love you, Lieutenant
Dan.
that's all that was coming out of my mouth at that moment. Thank you, Sonny. But they're making big moves,
And great things.
And it looks so nice down there.
It does.
And this is what I want. So, yeah, every time we come on here on Friday, we record on Friday, it airs on
No,
Monday.
yeah.
Is we miss what's happening that weekend.
We do.
And it's like, hey guys, if you have something coming up, if you got a event, a benefit, if it's opening day, like that's the time. Like I would have loved for, I don't know if they got on here.
I don't
but
know, yeah.
we would have at least blew
Dan
it
would
up.
come on here. I guarantee you Dan would come on.
Yeah, Dan would come on. And like come to us. Hey, here's what we're going to do. We'll blow it up. So that way we're not sitting here on Friday recording going, hey, this is tomorrow. We just, And even with that, part of it is we have to have more listener engagement.
Absolutely. Communication is
got
key,
to.
man.
Yeah, don't
I'll
be
help
mayor.
push it out there for you guys.
Don't be mayor. Don't be like the mayor. Like, let's talk to us. Like, let us go out here. Ashley's gonna kill me.
I'll help you guys push it out there. I'll help get the word out there to like, hey, you know, like if you guys have something you want to announce, get it to the Squatch and Ashley show. Get it to Mr. Kitchen or Shane Smith or Miss Ashley, and they'll make sure that, you know, a week before whatever you're having, so that it airs on that Monday before the event, or even if it's sooner than that, they can give you guys a couple of plugs, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll lead up. We'll build up. Maybe in part of our little contest, we should do like a baseball or something. So hitting baseball or wiffle ball for you. Now, if we did that, would it be softballs or baseballs?
I'm just gonna beat you in disc golf and putt putt.
You don't care as long as it's balls. So, anyhow, we'll go a bicycle race.
You don't want to challenge me in any kind of stuff that has to do with my
Bicycle
legs.
race.
I will out pedal you.
I love this bicycle talk that we're having here.
Yeah, I think it's a bicycle race.
We've inspired a
My
lot of
little
people.
legs go super.
Ride With Us has inspired a lot of people. Actually, you know, we inspired the city
Yeah.
to have a police. We have a police bike officer now, Lieutenant Dan, and I just want to say a big thank you for flying road guard for us this summer on at least two of our rides. They came out. But Dan told me personally, he was like, Sonny, like, I just want to say thank you because you guys have inspired us to,
That's
you know, do this and go out and spend money on this bicycle.
That's
and I was
awesome.
like, wow.
And that electric bike is fast.
It is. It'll do about 30 miles an hour. So if you think you're going to run from Dan on that bike, you better get some rocket shoes because he will catch you. And he knows how to ride. So, I mean, Lieutenant Dan, he'll get you.
Yeah, per Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go watch the movie. Oh,
You got a magic bike, Lieutenant Dan.
yep. I love it. I love it. So he'll, yeah. So opening day, them guys are kicking butt. But are they doing anything?
Yeah.
Are they
So,
doing anything?
Ashley, you guys, Citizen State Bank's giving away something, right? What are you guys giving away?
Lots of places. Oh, a gift card.
Yeah.
Donated a gift card.
Yeah, like
He's gotten
All
lots
House.
of donations. Yep.
Yeah, and they're still coming in, and unfortunately, like Shane said, you know, this doesn't go out to everybody, so they, you know, they're gonna hear about this and they're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I could have donated, you know. But like I said, I'll do my part in putting it out there on social media to try and get people. I know Dawn Winger from the Flip Flop
Yes.
wants to donate, and hopefully she gets in touch with John Bowling. I told her if she couldn't, then I would help her out, but I told her to send him a personal message. So, yeah, man. And I personally am giving away a 3-hour tattoo session. So that's
wow.
a $540 value. Ride With Us is giving away 2 bicycles, one 16-inch bicycle, one 16-inch bicycle, and it's a Blue Boys bike. It's got training wheels on it, so your kiddo can ride even if they can't ride without wheels. And also a 18-inch girls bicycle. It's pink, super cute. All the parent that wins the bike has to do is go buy their kid a helmet, you know, so
That's
that they
awesome.
ride safe.
What if these parents? What if somebody wants to be in this, but they don't have any kids? They don't even know any kids. So
that's a good question. Actually, if you have a kid, or you say you're a grandparent or an auntie, you know, or an uncle, or you're just someone in the community and you don't have a kid, but you know a kid that needs a bike, or you know a kid that needs a bike, you can still win that bike and you can gift that bike. If you don't have a kid that you know, you can give it back to Ride With Us, and there are plenty of kids in Hartford City that need bikes. I actually just met this lady who does social work, and she has I think she said 27 families, and they're all low income families, and none of them have bicycles, she said. And so I told her, I was like, I gave her my number, and I was like, if you ever need, if any of these kids ever need a bike or whatever, I have a bunch that people have just given me and stuff, you know?
And I was going to tell you, there's a shed I'm going to clean out, and all the kids except for Bridger have outgrown the bikes. And I don't know how many's in this building, but I'll make sure there's no sentimental attachment to any of them. But come get them all.
All right, man.
And I'm telling you, a lot of the way the girls were, they wanted a bike, so they're probably not rode much. So, poor Kaylee, she has a hard enough time walking, let alone riding a bike. So,
so I got this
That's
great
me.
story that happened on Easter. Actually, it's the greatest Easter story ever, right?
Yeah.
So, it was the week of Easter. This lady reached out on Hartford City happenings, and she said, my daughter needs a bike, or I have a little girl that needs a bike. She's a neighbor girl. She comes around. She borrows my son's bike. But I was just hoping that maybe somebody had a lightly used bike or something that they're not using anymore that they would be willing to give her. And everybody tagged Justin and I immediately.
yeah.
And so we were like, absolutely. And she would ride down, and they live down on the south side, just on the other side of, it's not Waterworks Park anymore. It's called Founders Park or something now, right? So they live just on the other side of Founders Park going up the hill. And the little girl will come down from a couple of houses, and she'll ride down to the skate park and ride around.
Yeah.
And then she'll
Aw.
bring the bike back, right? Well, I take her a bike down with some pegs on it so that she's probably not going to grind, but she can feel like she's going to do something fun.
Give her
right?
the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right?
It's got back brakes, but it's also got hand brakes too. So Justin takes the bike down there to her, and I go to church with the lady who reached out on Facebook, and I didn't even know what she looked like. I was standing there in church waiting for first service to exit so that I could go in and sit down. And she's like, hi, I just wanted to introduce myself to you. I'm the mom that reached out to you about the bicycle. I just want to say thank you so much. She loved the bike so much. And my boy is so happy that he doesn't have to let her borrow his bike anymore. She said, I hate to ask, but her brother came down after and said, do you think they would have a bike for me? And I was like, absolutely. I didn't even pause. Like, God, it almost broke my heart right there.
Right.
I was like, yeah. So I reached back out to Justin. I'm like, do we have another bike? He was like, I got this Royce Union, which is a really nice bike. Freewheel, brakes, the whole nine, right? Orange, just super cool bike. Take it down there, and he's head over heels and loves the bike, right? And she's like, oh, my kids are gonna be jealous. She's like, we're gonna get my boy a bike. He's outgrown his bike, and so we're probably gonna start shopping for a bike. And so I'm like, I got this bike. I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you for the price that I got it for. It's like a $600, $700 bike.
Right.
It's a Mira Flare, and it has like all the pegs on it. Like it's all done up. It's all really nice. And she's like, oh, okay. I showed her how much it was worth, and I told her, I was like, I'll just give it to you for what I have in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay. So fast forward a week, and it's Sunday. It's Easter. And God just like putting it on my heart, like, hey, you need to take this kid a bike.
Right.
And I'm like, but I don't want to give him this bike, right?
Right.
And it's like, there's got to be another bike. And so I'm like, all right. I'm like thinking, I got a bike that I can get from Chad that's a GT NSX, really nice 90s GT that I've been meaning to go get.
Right.
And surely she can afford $100. And God's like, what if she can't afford $100? I'm like,
don't you love it when he does that?
and I'm like, okay. So I'm going to give this kid this bike. I'm going to go buy this bike from Chad, and I'm going to take it down there. I'm going to give it to him. So I tell my wife, and she's like, you can't just keep giving away bikes. You're going to open a bike shop. Like, how are you going to open a bike shop if you keep giving away bikes? I'm like, I don't know. But God told me I should do this. Should I not? You know, like,
Yep.
she's like, no, give him the bike. But she's like, but seriously, like, you need to get your nonprofit started, or like you got to stop just giving away bicycles. You can't just keep giving away bicycles. Are you going to even open a bike shop? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to keep giving away bikes. So
have a bike shop that you give away bikes. You know,
but,
have
I mean,
people
that's
donate
obviously
them so
not-
you can give them away.
yeah, I mean, that's obviously not the goal, is to have a bike shop to just give away, but there are these kids out there that can't afford them, you know? And so I message her and I'm like, hey, are you home? And she's like, no, I'm out of town right now. I'll be back this evening. I was like, well, would it be all right if I came by? I have something for you. She was like, yeah, sure. So I go down there about 7:00, and I get out of the car. I take this bike up and knock on the door. She comes out, and I'm like, got this bike for your boy. And she's like, what? Nuh-uh. Seriously? How much? And I was like, nothing. It's free. Here you go.
Right.
And so she's like, let me go get him. So she goes inside and gets him, and he comes out, and he's all like beside himself about this bike, you know,
Right.
It's this blue, awesome, you know, bicycle. And so, he comes out and rides it around a bit. His brother comes out and he's riding his bike around. And, I noticed that his crank was about to come out of his bicycle. And she said, oh, his grandparents just got him that for his birthday. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, bring me your bike real quick, man. And so I start like screwing it back in and like tightening it up. And I asked her if she had a wrench. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I might have one. Like the wrench was just big enough to work on this bolt. I'm like, thank you, God. Like,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tightened it back up for him, adjusted his handlebars. I'm like, I'm not offending your husband by being out here, am I? And she's like, oh, I don't have a husband. So I was like, she probably didn't have the money to
Right.
buy this little boy a bicycle.
Right.
So like right there was immediate affirmation that God was speaking to me,
Yeah.
you know, and it wasn't just in my head.
Right.
So it was a really special moment. And I told her when I was done, I was like, I don't want to get all emotional about this, but God asked me to bring you this bike for your boy. And then so she gives me 2 bikes. Like, and the bike that he was riding was smaller than the bike that my 5-year-old daughter rides. So
Wow.
I said this before on my story, but what is the definition of selfless? That mother is, because who asks for bicycles for 2 kids when your own kid needs a bike?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was really awesome, you know, and since I've came back to Hartford City, I've returned to Christianity and I've renewed my faith, and God's been doing some really good things for me
Absolutely.
and my family. And none of the things that I do would be possible without him.
No,
It's-
absolutely. I've said that.
it's beautiful.
I've said that forever. Like I said, it was one thing to believe in God. It was another thing to understand what he really wants and not what everybody tells you.
Yeah.
And it's that relationship that you have with him. And when you get that relationship, it's hard to explain to people who don't understand it. But I'm telling you, you will do anything you want to do. You
Yeah.
will absolutely, there's nothing can stop you. So, and that's what
powerful.
I've learned. It is. And that's part of why we don't worry about anything no more.
Yeah.
You know, if you're driven to do something, it's like, well, it's going to happen, you know, and if you're not, and, you know, we all talk about our stories, and we talked about this on one of the podcasts, but, you know, all the things I thought was the end of the world in my life had to happen for me to go to the next thing that I had to do.
It was the new beginning.
Yeah, it had to happen, because if it wouldn't have happened, I never would have went. I'd have just sat there and spun my wheels.
Yeah, it's contrast, man.
Yeah.
The contrast that it's hard to explain for people that, and I like that you say, you know, go out, experience life, because that's absolutely right. Like if Hartford City isn't your place because it sucks and you hate it and it's the worst thing that you've ever felt in your life, then go out, experience life everywhere else. And I promise you, it may take 16 years like it did for me.
Right.
But eventually you're going to realize that out there, not just out there, the world is a cold place that doesn't care about you or your problems or anything. And the one thing that finally made me decide to come back home, other than the gripping, just awful, like everything in California is just way over expensive, and just everything, like you just have to work all the time for nothing, you know, and then you have nothing to show for it. And like my wife and I, before we left, we were making, we were doing really good, but she was working all the time. She was gone. I never saw her. She never saw the kids. Like she wasn't at any of the sports or anything like that. And it was what we had to do to survive, So moving, especially across the country, is a big undertaking, like it costs a lot of money, so not only are you paying to move, but you still have to pay all your bills there. And then you have to pay to move, and then you have to pay for the gas and everything else. Like this past year, like it hasn't been a struggle, but we've been doing a lot of catch up because it costs about $10,000 to move from California to Indiana.
I can believe that.
It was madly expensive, know, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm just this superhero and that, I don't fall down, and and I don't mean fall down like, oh, it's going to be okay. Like fall down, like the wheels almost fall down. Right. But my wife, Carol Ann, is the most special thing. She has been my rock. Yeah. She has been my crutch, crutch is not the right word. She has been my legs when I didn't have them anymore. And right before we left, like some things started really happening, and I was mentally struggling. And she's like, listen, she's like, you got to keep it together. You cannot let the wheels fall off right now. She's like, when we get to Indiana, she's like, you want to let the wheels fall off, baby, let them fall off, and it'll be okay. But you got to keep it together now. And dude, without her, who knows where I would be today? That's awesome. She's an amazing best friend, wife, mother, the supporter of me and everything that I dream, and now I get to teach her how to tattoo. So it's really awesome. Great.
And the wives, the husbands, the boyfriend partners, really with people like us, they're the only ones that see our wheels fall off.
Yeah. They see the real us.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they ugly us.
Yes. And for them to have to, anybody that has the high drive, the high passion, a lot of the public just sees that go, happy.
Oh, you're always so positive.
Yeah. And then, but when you,
but we take it out on our partner.
You absolutely take it out because
they're tough.
Because that's not you, and you're going to do it. So that's the only place to escape.
Yep. And they get the brunt of it.
Yeah, they do. Every single time. So
I've been working.
We're sorry, Nathan, Carol Ann, Laura.
I am most of the time. My wife beats me, so
Stop it.
Locks me in a cage.
As she should.
She does. There's
pictures.
You're
the Squatch. I mean, you're supposed to be caged.
As she should.
Oh, she likes the fact I'm the Squatch.
I'm sure she does.
So no, I think it is awesome what you do. I think it's awesome to hear this story. Like this is almost like the Book of Sonny, right? Yeah.
There's much more.
I mean, that's where we are. It's like we start talking. It's
my God.
I mean, to think about it, I'm looking over. So he's got like a 2-inch book here, and it's got months. And I'm a little worried if there's something about what he did each month that he's talking about.
No,
we could be here for a lot
in there.
But so what are some other things? I mean, well, I'm gonna back up.
Okay, because I got something I want to talk about. This
baseball, I want to reconfirm. Like, it's going to happen Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's going to be going on all day. So I made a video and said that they were going to be starting it in the morning and doing the drawing at noon. Obviously, you guys are going to hear this after, but the drawing is going to happen at the end of the night so that as many people can come out and donate as possible. So, like I said, yeah, definitely.
Everybody's listening is going to miss that.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm going to say. Go down there, check it out, see the changes. If you wake up in the morning, you get on Facebook, like, there ain't nothing happens in this town. You know what? Jump in your car and go for a cruise. Because right now, as much as going on, you ain't
Can't
going
miss
far
it.
till you're going to see something different.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. You
Yeah.
know, just
don't-
walk around the square, first of all. Like, all the monuments, like when the one thing that I can't wait for is the hometown hero banners to come back out. I
Yes.
miss them so much. I'm so proud of those, and I actually have a project that I'm going to be working on.
Right.
And I don't really have anybody involved with it yet, other than Chad and myself and ADM, because I've talked to them about this much.
Yeah.
But we have broached the subject. I'm going to do my best to not be negative. I am so upset that people in this town have to pay for the hometown hero banners,
Right.
that the city doesn't pay for those. And so rather than complaining, and I wanted to do this last year, but everything just got so crazy. I'm going to go around to all the businesses and I'm going to ask for donations for the hometown hero banners. And if that does well, eventually I would like to pay back all the people that already bought banners because our veterans deserve a place up there on the
Yes.
on those poles without being charged. And sadly, I've been told 3 different prices on the banners. So that frustrates me as well. So I want to make it a situation where people are proud to put their faces up in Hartford City. And not only the veterans and the active duty cats, I would love to get the first responders involved. Like
Yes.
the firefighters, the police officers. I mean, EMTs are first responders too,
Yes.
guys. So even them, like if you have selflessly served in the line of duty, the thankless jobs that so many, you know, out in California, there are a lot of firefighters out there, right? And there are a lot of firefighters that are actually on the payroll. Do you realize it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 35% of firefighters are paid? So the rest are volunteers, guys.
Yeah. There's a bunch
It
of
is a
volunteers.
small community of actual paid first responders, like firefighters. Everybody else does it because they want to make a difference. And dude, those are the kind of people, I love those people.
Yes.
Like the selfless men and women that, first of all, police officers, we talked about this, you know, like everybody loves to hate a cop, but they're the first person they call when they're in trouble, you know? And, you know, everybody talks about, you know, this or that. Like, can you imagine if we all just started supporting everybody just a little bit more, you know? Not because I said to, or Jared said to, or because Shane said to, because you want to, because it makes you feel good.
And change that circle.
Yep.
Change that ugly circle that revolves, like you said about the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just change it. It's got to change somewhere.
Absolutely.
If you break that circle, everything changes.
Because nothing is going to change until we take a step. So be the change you want to see, you know? Hello, human kindness means so much more than a stupid TV slogan. It's really an amazing thing. And let me tell you, dude, Ride With Us has allowed me to see some amazing human kindness, dude. Like people just giving people bikes, you know, like a bike breaks down, we run and go get another one so they don't have to stop the ride. Like we give them popsicles at the end of the ride. We take them down and let them play at the skate park. And, you know, we have Andy Carvel and his boys are the trick stars. And so the last ride, they did some tricks down there and put on a little show for the kids. And
Yeah. What about the skate park we have?
so the skate park is awesome, but it needs some love.
It does need some love.
I heard
if
that
you guys
there
are
was-
looking for something to do, hey, like there you go.
It's fun to ride on though.
Yeah.
You know,
But it does. It needs some attention.
It does. And I heard that there was a grant to do more to it, but I was talking to Carvel and he said that he doesn't know what happened. So
them grants can be a little weird. I'll just tell you, like I've started to have to deal with some of that, and you just never know. Like you just don't. I did want to bring up something though. You know, we're talking about donations and people donating and everything like that. From a business owner's perspective, guys, we want to donate to everybody, and we physically can't. But I will tell you the ones that's going to get it. It's the ones when we see you out in the community doing something, or if you come with us with that passion, with a presentation. If you walk in and say,
Face to face.
yeah, but even if you, you want to do face to face,
You need
do
a
not
plan.
call me. You need a plan. You need to have, do not walk in though and say, yeah, I'd like to have $50 to sponsor me. Well, what am I sponsoring you for? What are you sponsoring me for this? Well, where's this money going to go? Well, I really don't know. Well, come on. Like, you know, I will tell you in the past, in the past, the businesses would just give. Like there wasn't, because there wasn't these big things happening, right? So anybody come in and want $50, you get $50. And I think it made people get a little lazy. But now you've got these big things coming, and these companies are giving the there, and then the other people coming in. You better have a plan, and you better have a purpose, and it better be a good one, and you better know where that money's going to go. So from a business, if you want us to give you money, present it correctly. You know, be able to answer the questions.
And if you don't present it in the absolute most correct fashion, you better come with passion.
Yeah.
So it goes a long way. Like I last year went to Hardin's bicycle shop in Muncie and asked him if I could have a bicycle.
Yeah.
And he was like, for what? And I was like, I want to give it away to a little kid. And I told him about Ride With Us. And it was like right at the beginning of the season. And he gave us a really amazing Eastern bicycle.
Yeah.
And then we went back and bought one to show like how appreciative we were. But
And that's
he
just it.
supports us wholeheartedly. And he's an amazing dude.
And that's-
Hardin's bicycle shop in Muncie, guys. Go
There
check
you
it
go.
out.
Check it out. And that's awesome. But that's what a lot of people don't realize is these businesses, these places, the city, the county, like, look, they are very giving. They are very supportive.
But they can't do everything.
They can't do everything.
No.
But when you walk in there, you've got to show that you are passionate. You've got to show, because they do not want to give money and it just disappear. Like they are doing the same thing. They are doing something supportive. They are wanting to help. They are wanting to make something happen. So show them why it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Show them what you're going to do, and then keep up with it. And I love the fact you said, then we went back and bought a bike from him. Well, guess what happens when you have another thing and you want another something? I bet you he's
gonna
going
remember.
he's going to jump up. He's going to say, yeah, because we're good. You know, because you showed your support. You didn't just go begging, but you showed your support. You know.
Well, and I shop from him too. So whenever
Yeah.
I go in there, I buy stuff, you know. And it wasn't, I don't think it was the first time I'd ever been in there, you know. I'd been in there, bought some stuff, but I think it was only like one time before,
Right.
you know. But I bought more stuff while I was there,
Yep.
you know. And yeah, dude, great things have happened, and great things are going to keep happening. I used to want to change people. When I first started going through my little transformation to positivity and gratitude and a lot of other things before I made my way back to Christianity, right?
Right.
But as I'm doing these things, I'm starting to realize just how much, you know, starts to really happen in a positive direction.
Yes.
You know, and I'm like, man, I want to change people. But I realized that I was wrong. You can't change people. You can't move people. You can't make somebody feel the same way that you feel by saying things. Your actions speak louder than words. And once you start doing things, once you start moving in a positive direction, and it stops being about everybody else and it's just about you and what you're doing, even though I'm not talking about a myopic view.
Right.
I'm talking about a situation where you're like, I want to make things better and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make things better. And then people start to follow you because they're like, wow.
Yep.
Wow, this is like, what's going on? What's this guy doing? Like, he's just doing stuff just because. And that's how the Ride With Us started. And it's my baby, dude. I love it.
Right.
It's incredibly important for our community and other communities as well. You know, like, people are like, oh, would you bring Ride With Us here? And I'm like, I would love to, but that's a monumental question.
And I really think here's the thing, like when they ask you, can you bring it here? In my mind is, if it's not, like, why don't you talk to them, and why don't the person that's asking you that talk to the right people to bring it there? You
or
know?
come
see
ride with us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, because like I said before, it's all about drawing people in from everywhere, because, and you know, it's not just the Ride With Us, it's everything, like small businesses in our town, like places to eat, you know, like the Sip Studio, like Rivera's, like Common Grounds and Richards and La Palma, like all these places, right?
Yeah.
We need more places, because honestly, I love the food in this town, but it gets boring. We
Yeah, it
need
does.
more diverse options, right? Like once we like, but that's what it's all about, you know.
Right.
We start bringing, we do things like the Ride With Us, and we start bringing attention, and we start moving people towards Hartford City, then we're going to start bringing more things to Hartford City.
You also have these kids that'll never forget this, that'll have a passion and a love for Hartford City, that even if they leave, they're going to remember riding a bike with you guys
Every Sunday.
and they're going to come back. And I promise you, with what you're doing, in another 30 years, there's going to be another kid that's going to come back, and another kid's going to do this stuff or do something similar. And it's because of something you started. And that is that circle that you're trying to start.
It's a beautiful circle,
Yeah,
right?
it is awesome. I mean, you know, we was talking to Tyler at the disc park. He's like, yeah, there's some kids out there throwing rocks in the pond. I said, hey, you know, Frisbees are funner to throw. So he drags these kids around. Guys, these kids are begging to do stuff.
We have to be shepherds to our kids,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know?
Yep. I love it. I love what you do, man. I really do.
Thank you.
So
It brings me a lot of joy to my soul and my heart, and to see, dude, so many people on bicycles, dude. I know it sounds trivial and ridiculous, but parents and like groups and families, like my homeboy rode by just the other night, and we talked for like, I don't know, like a good 45 minutes out in front of my house. He's like, we just picked up these bikes. Can't wait to ride them on the Ride With Us. Like, and I see parents riding with their kids, and like all these kids are like, hi, Sonny.
Yeah.
Like, they love me, dude. You know, like, and so that was big part of the reason why I changed how I spoke online.
Right.
And I'm really trying to do it in my real life too.
right.
It's difficult. But it's a bad habit, just like any.
Oh,
that
yeah.
When you try to give it up, it like tries to hang on.
Yeah,
you know?
but I mean,
but that's one thing I'm working on.
I'll tell you, man.
That's one of the
you
small
know,
ones.
That's minor, dude. Like I had to laugh, you know, because I don't cuss that much, and I used to always never cuss around the kids. Now, if I was on a job site, maybe a little bit more, but I did cuss, right? The thing is, when about them kids are 16, all they're doing is cussing and not telling you about it, right? So finally, I was just like, I'm gonna be who I am. I don't do it that bad. You gotta know when to do it, how to do it, right? But like I told him one day, I said, you guys think I don't know? Like, they slip up, you know. We picked Wyatt up from I think after basic, and he hadn't been around us for a while, and it was like he's slipping up, and he looked at Laura like, oops, you know. I'm like, dude, you're 19 years old. We don't care. So yeah, and but man, I think this will be our longest episode. I'll bet we'll be 2 hours here. Ashley's done probably on 72 text messages right now. She has done, you haven't even heard her talk. Like, she has been out for a while. So anyhow, right, Sonny, I want to say thank you. And I want to say, I mean, or is there anything else that you want to get out here? Because I know you're like me. This could go on forever,
It
but
could.
I think we need to get you on here again.
Sure, I'd love to come on again.
And let's dig more into it, and let's do it like as events are happening, like before you get rocking with this bike stuff. Like, let's get you on here. Let's get everybody known. Let's talk more in detail about what goes into that.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have one announcement that I want to make, and I know that everybody has been asking me, like I said, since January. But the Ride With Us ride, guys, will start after Heritage Days, okay? I don't want to interfere with the goings-on of Heritage Days. So after Heritage Days, the Ride With Us will start, and we'll be out on Sunday, every other Sunday at 2 p.m., at the corner of Jefferson and Main, and we ride.
Me a bike.
Yeah, you are. We ride for about 4 miles, and the ride ends back up at the courthouse. But we go down. The ride's never the same, but we go down and just ride around town. We only crossed the highway once last year, and that was to go to the path and to ride up through the BIS to go through the other side of town. But most of the time we stay on one side of the highway, so we're not crossing 3, and we go down to the Founders Park, give the kids popsicles and water. We usually will stop for a water break somewhere in between, like in the middle if we need to, and then play on the park, on all the stuff, and then we go over to the skate park and let the kids ride around for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we head back up to the courthouse by about 4 o'clock and drop the kids off. And the thing is, guys, like we have shepherds out there, so if you're a parent and your kid has a bike but you don't, like you can bring them out and we'll make sure that they stay safe and we keep an eye on them. All we ask is that their bike is roadworthy so that they can ride and that they're able to ride for at least 4 miles. We do have some golf carts that follow us sometimes, so there is that assistance. And thank you to the Hartford City Police Department and Lieutenant Dan for flying road guard for us, and for some of these other police officers that will come out and help us in between. So your kids are safe. We keep them protected. The shepherds, as I call them, there's about 12 of us, and we just all kind of ride in the group and outside the group and just kind of keep the kids inside and safe. And if we see cars, we make them move over, and we don't want anybody getting hurt. We try to just have fun.
I love it.
A nice, slow, easy pace, and
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you go. And I'll tell you what, I said I need to get a bike, but maybe I get my Ranger. I just follow you guys. I kind of like that idea.
So, like, you can get, like, an electric bike, too, I think when we did the ride over here, Mayor Neff had an electric bike.
You still get training wheels?
Yeah, you can get training wheels. It's a lot harder to push on the training wheels, though, because you're restricted. But
well, hey, look, I think we're on, like, 2 hours. So that is nuts. And I know we could talk for another hour. We could talk about the fart in a whirlwind that owns the golf course and how that's not going to happen.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that would probably be on our next podcast. But there, you guys wanted to know, there it is. Things get a little ridiculous out there. But anyhow, Sonny, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
For all you do. Thank you for all you're going to do. And keep doing what you do.
Thank you guys, man.
Do.
And he said doo-doo.
It's coming. Anyhow, so, hey, Ashley's done out. Like, I don't even know. I think she's sleeping. I heard her snoring there a little bit. She got a little drool laying down her.
She is going to beat you up. She's about half of that energy drink in her. She's going to fly across that table at you.
Yeah. That's probably like her fifth one from, what is that? Is that one of the sips? Is that one of the, yep. That's it.
Sarah Connor is awesome. I just want everybody to know that. And not just because your name is the name from Terminator.
Yes.
Sarah Connor. I think that's the greatest thing ever. Sarah Connor's right next to the tattoo shop. Like, so pretty much got Terminator right next door. Like, don't mess with her, bro.
Right.
Actually, do. Go get you a drink, man. They're delicious.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, wake up, Ashley.
I'm awake.
All right. You're awake in time to say That's it. This is a long one, but we loved it. And
Till next time.
Till we wheel on. All right. I'm Squatch.
I'm Ashley.
Peace out.
Bye.
That's Sonny.